Your hunger for power is growing. The time has come to rise up and seize the throne. But who will ascend through the ranks first? This video I'll be reviewing Barony and its expansion, Sorcery, after this. Hey there, it's Theo from Geeky Gamer Guy. On this channel I do all things board games from top 5 lists of a specific topic, playthroughs, reviews like this one, to how to play where I expose the full rules of the game at hand. So if you don't want to miss out, think about subscribing. The crown isn't going to take itself, so let's get started. Oh, and you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end for a little something extra special. In Barony, 2 to 4 players will be ambitious barons, aiming to increase their stature to become the next king, or queen. To do this, they need to expand their dominion across the land of tiles by building or pillaging villages and upgrading them to cities. At the beginning of the game, each player places 3 cities with a knight in each on a hex on the board. Players can then perform one of 6 possible actions on their turn. Recruitment allows the player to place 2 or 3 knights in a city depending on if it's adjacent to a lake hex or not. Movement lets a player move 2 different knights to adjacent hexes. If a player can manage to get 2 of their knights on a hex with a single village or knight of another player, then that piece is destroyed and sent back to that player's supply. Ouch! If it was a village, the player gets to take a resource token of their choosing from the defeated player. More on this in a sec. Construction replaces 1 or more of the player's knights and upgrades them to villages or strongholds, which help to block movement just like a city. Then the player can take from the supply a resource token that matches the hex's landscape, either forests, plains, fields, or mountains. The new city action lets a player upgrade their village to a city. When this happens, the player also gains 10 victory points. If players should ever get blocked from movement or want to move quickly, they can do the expedition action by sacrificing a knight from the game to place a second knight anywhere on the edge of the board. Lastly, the player can choose the noble title action by spending 15 gold resource points on collected tokens to upgrade their title one step further. Baron to Viscount, to Count, then Marquis, and finally to Duke. Play goes round after round until the endgame triggers. We'll get there in a sec. Now in the Sorcery expansion, 2 big things happen. First, the player count increases to 5 players, and players have a new hex called the Mysterious Locations to go to. Ooh, mysterious. A player can move a knight there to earn a victory point token, as well as magic tokens. These magic tokens can be used to activate the 5 spells available for that game. Even further, a player can spend as many magical tokens as they wish to do multiple spells if it's linked to the same action. Regardless if you have the expansion or not, the game's final round is triggered once a player gets to the rank of Duke. After that, players count up any remaining VP left on tokens in their supply. The player with the most wins and is ascended to the throne. Anyone who knows me knows one thing. I freaking love this game. It's so crazy that it's designed by the creator of Splendor, Marc Andre, but very little people know about this one. Such a shame. What I love most about this game is that all the actions are open information. Because of this, it plays very much like chess, trying to predict where your opponents are moving. Since a player's knight can usually move a single hex at a time, 2 hexes if the spell from the Sorcery expansion is in play, you can see when a player is about to strike. It really only comes down if you can react to them fast enough. Turns are super fast and keeps things moving nicely. Since a player only takes 1 action per turn, it makes the game so fast that even I get surprised sometimes that it becomes my turn again in a couple of minutes. It's also very teachable too, since the rules are pretty simple once everything is explained. Plus the actions are clearly marked on each player board. Endgame is always a surprise because you'd think that the person that triggered the end of the game would automatically win. But those silver points on resource tokens can really tip the scales for other players to take the crown. Also, it would be a crime to not mention that it's a total beauty on the table. All the components are so striking, and with a 4 or 5 player count, it sure fills up the table, making a real showstopper. I also love that the amount of tiles used varies with each player count, allowing the board to be tighter and in any pattern you want them to be, really pumping up the replay value. The Sorcery expansion takes the already awesome play of the base game and cranks it up even higher. Since turns are so fast, adding a 5th player really doesn't increase the game time by very much. The Mysterious Locations help for added endgame victory points, giving another way to swing the odds in your favor. I win? Plus you're only using 5 of the 9 spells each game. They really only help to augment and enhance the base game's actions, making it super easy to add with only a few more rules. Though I would still recommend playing the base game a few times first. Now, just like all games, this one isn't without its faults. Since this game feels very much like multiplayer chess, there will be plenty to ponder over between turns, which then can cause a fair bit of AP. It's not a crippling amount, but expect there to be times where players will try to guess all the possible outcomes before taking their turns. Also, a player can be blocked in movement if another player places strongholds at key locations on the map. They can bottleneck players or straight up isolate them, causing other players to have to perform the expedition action. It never feels good to remove a knight, but that is part of the game. All that aside, this is by far one of my favorites in my collection. So if you're looking for a quick game that has beautiful components and is easy to teach, you need to check this one out. Oh, and you can do just that right now. Thanks to the great people over at Colossal Games, I'm giving away a copy of the base game as well as the expansion, giving you everything instantly. All you need to do is subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment below. I'll announce the winner in 2 weeks. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you want more, check out what I'm playing over on my Instagram, or come interact with me on Twitter. I'd love to connect with you. Also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay geeky, keep gaming. Making it a real showstopper. Making it a real showstopper. It's mine? I think I win.